Um, Sunday morning, scrolling through social media, I've seen a lot of people clamouring for Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder. Now, I know realistically it's probably not on the cards, but you have made fights with Wilder before. Of course, the first Fury and Wilder fight, you worked with PBC. So, is that realistic? Will you be reaching out to them?
I've got no problem making that fight. Absolutely no problem. If it can be done, I'd love to do it. Why wouldn't we try and do that fight? It'd be a great fight. No problem.
Can you imagine that? Wilder's right hand's landed on Joe's chin.
Well, of course it would be a bit. I mean, you know, he'll land it, but can you imagine Joe landing his on his chin? So yeah, that's not a problem. You know, I may speak to Shelly about it, but I think he's coming out with a comeback fight sometime in the. I mean, I'm hearing. I don't know how true it is that he may be coming out with a comeback fight sometime in the autumn in the States.
Those are the words of Frank Warren as he, as you heard, state that he may reach out to Shelly Finkle to make a potential fight between his fighter Joe Joyce and the former WBC heavyweight superstar boxer Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Let me counterpunch. I would like to see that fight. That's a very interesting fight. I think it's going to be a KO. That fight won't go the distance. And I'm so curious to see how Joe Joyce would handle an elite fighter or boxer like Deontay Wilder, especially when he hits you. Like when Wilder hits you, an explosion happens. You know, and a lot of people, you know, had this amazing chin. You know, it made me think of Dominic Brazil, because when I think of Joe Joyce, I think of like a fresher Dominic Brazil, but they're basically like the same age. I don't even know how old Dominic Brazil is, but Dominic has been around, you know, for a while. So I think that he's the type of guy that if he could take Wilder's punch, that would be one hell of a fight. But then Joyce does have a bit of defense. Now, he's a slow starter, and that could be his downfall with someone like Wilder, because see, Wilder, he ain't trying to point you out. He's not trying to win rounds. He's trying to knock you out. Bars. He's trying to take you off your feet, take your head off, decapitate you, cripple you in front of in front of the sun. Okay, that's what he's trying to do. You know, and I think at the end of the day, that fight will be very good. Very good fight. In fact, Dominic Brazil and Joe Joyce are the same age. Right? You know, so it's one of those deals. You got big guys like that, you know, and Joyce is known to just run through people. The Juggernaut. He has a perfect nickname. Because he will run right through you. He'll take your shots, but then can you take his? You know, and the thing about Wilder, you know, yeah, Wilder can hit you with something, but can he take yours? So it's one of those things, and Joe Joyce can hit. I know he can punch. You better ask the eye of Daniel Dubois, because that guy had his eye way out here messing around with Joe Joyce, just popping the jab. Popping the jab. Just like that, you know. And he has heavy hands. Heavy whiskers, as they call it over there. And it's crazy because I would like to see that fight. And here's the thing. Politics-wise, Frank Warren and Shelly Finkle have a pretty good relationship, as far as I know. You know, they worked together with Mike Tyson before. You know, you had, of course, Shelly Finkle and Tyson Fury, all those fights, because, of course, Frank Warren is the co-promoter of Tyson Fury, and they've worked together numerous of times, at least twice. So they're familiar with each other. It's not like we're talking about Shelly Finkle and someone very opposite of the spectrum like Eddie Hearn. We're talking about two guys that have done business together. So that would be a fight that, of course, we would want to see, okay? Because an undefeated fighter, I feel, is the type of fighter that Deontay Wilder should be taking on as far as opposition goes. Someone that's on the level, someone that's up and coming. Will you knock him off the top of damn near the tip of the mountain, or will he climb to the top and knock you off? Or take your place at that top part or that high part of that mountain? That's what you ask yourself about these two guys. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Frank Warren reaching out to Shelly Finkle about a potential fight between his fighter Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder, the WBC former heavyweight superstar boxer of the world. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!